What is going on, friend? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Matt Harvey, the sophomore at Dickinson College, Division III school represent. You know, your boy loves the D3 representation. Love helping you guys out. Yeah, so he's been throwing for just about a year now. So he's throwing around 40 meters. So let's take a look at this throw. But before we do that, just want to let you guys know if you're interested in any coaching, technical analysis, online programming, lifting, throwing, technical, whatever you need, I got you. Go to gripandrip.co.co, my business website, my brand website. All right, so go check that out if you guys are interested. Now is the time to sign up if you guys want to make some big technical gains for later this season. So, all right, let's take a look at Matt's throw. I think this is going to be a pretty easy one because his overall movement's pretty close. I think he's got perhaps a quick fix. Not the best angle, but you still see what you need to see, I suppose. So one more time through. Yeah, so maybe fix the winds a little bit. Turns are pretty good, and then just got to get the hips up into the finish a little bit more. Stay back over the right side a little more, I think. So, excuse me. Let's break it down step by step. So in the winds, like I said, it could be improved a little bit, but the overall movement, your overall system of rotation after the entry is pretty good. So in the winds, starting with the pendulum start, bringing the hammer forward, stepping out. I think you could be a little bit quicker with his right foot. I think the idea is to stay grounded longer. So like, I guess if we watch this in real time, I want to see how long it takes this right foot to come up and come down. Yeah, so it's not bad. It looks like you're being soft with it. Not soft in the sense of like you're not doing it hard enough, but like you're just being kind of there's a tenderness to putting this foot down. But I think try not to let this foot float as much when you step up. But that's like really kind of splitting hairs. But I just think perhaps it'll give you a little bit more stability. This is like a minor fix, nothing too big, just food for thought perhaps. And then also be wary of like how you kind of tilt the shoulders a little bit like this. All right, I'd rather see you turn your shoulders back to 270 a little bit more, whereas you can see you're kind of always trying to face forwards. Your shoulders are always like you don't quite rotate open as much as you need to. Also an interesting strategy here where I didn't realize that. Yeah, so you step up on the first wind. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So this is a thing I might consider changing. Maybe you like the way it feels, but in my mind, I would do this first wind like this. All right, so don't step up until after the first wind. This is kind of a weird thing here. I don't see too many people do it. As far as I know, there's no professional hammer throwers or 80-meter hammer throwers or anybody who's thrown really far in the past who does a step up before the first wind. Okay, so consider delaying this step up till after the first wind, and that is because, like I said, you step forward, your shoulders face zero, and then it's harder for your shoulders to turn back to 270, as you can see, kind of very cross body with it. All right, if you face the right a little bit more, if you don't step up till after the second one, then you're going to be able to connect with the hammer a little bit earlier, have a little bit more energy into the system. And then, as you can see, you do this little kind of adjustment here. You're facing zero again, even more, which means it takes longer for the hammer, for you to connect with the hammer. As you can see, it doesn't get kind of in front of you until just after zero. But that being said, yeah, it's just that the timing of that step up is just weird. Like I said, I would do it after the first wind. Like I said, you can connect with it a little bit more. I like the right elbow down a little bit here. I like the shoulders. You're very patient. Good rotation. You see this left side turning backwards, setting some direction. You see this right foot turning. Like I said, your system after the winds is pretty good. I think the other thing I might change is perhaps trying to have the hammer, not the hammer, but sorry, your hands out a little bit away from you a little bit more. As you can see, the hammer is very near your body at the start. And it's not till the first wind. You step up and get the hammer out a little bit. I would think about trying to have your hands out away from the body. Get the ball out away from the body as much as you can. and then that'll help set up a longer entry, whereas you look just a little bit tight here. All right, and then, but after that, like I said, after entry, left side shifting back, left shoulder looks down, right side turning with the hammer. Your left foot, it looks like you're doing a concerted effort to keep your left foot down on the ground and not open it early, but at the same time, you could turn on that heel a little bit sooner, get that toe up a little bit more, and perhaps keep this knee just a little bit more bent, which would help the hips get into the throw a little bit more. With this left leg straightening out the way that it does, it's pushing the hips back. I like that you're over the right side, but at the same time, your shoulders could be back more to an extent. And what I mean is getting imagine leaning your torso back, your torso angle. Hips could be a little bit more forwards. Torso could be leaned back a little bit more. That doesn't mean retract your shoulders back. I like how protracted your shoulders are forwards. All right, so if you don't know what that means, give it a Google. Protraction, shoulder protraction is good for the hammer throw. But I think if your torso angle was a little bit more leaned back, that'd be better. And I think the way to do that is to get this knee a little bit more forwards, get your hips a little bit more forwards, get the shoulders back. And so this left leg straightening out prevents the hips from getting forwards like they need to. But like I said, the general system of rotation is good. Your left side's turning, your right side's turning. This angle's not the best, like I said, because it's hard to tell exactly. I mean, it looks like your hips and shoulders are on the same plane, which is cool. You catch, pretty flat. Hips are underneath you for the most part. Letting the hammer come down naturally, it looks like, not really forcing it. And then it looks like your left side, it's actually up a little bit, but I like the right side. It looks like it's really working. As you see, you land on the ball of the foot, that's nice. The right side's really working through. You can literally see right here, right? Let's see, right foot comes down, and you can see this right foot stabilize. You see this right hip kind of work up just a little bit, like right there. You have good right side tension, looks like, in the hammer. But then same kind of thing as in the previous turn. This left leg straightens out just a little bit, keeps the hips from going up like they need to. The right hip's trying to do what it can. Trying to do what it can. I can talk today. But I like how your left side and your right side are both turning. That's great. Just need to get your hips up into the throw a little bit more. Same thing. Get this torso angle a little bit more leaning back here. And that does start kind of like as you're going through zero, hips work up into the throw. Think like triple extension, hip extension, up into the throw as the hammer's going through zero, and then it just kind of, you're chilling towards the end of double support. Pretty good plane here. Once again, level shoulders, level hips, not a dramatic drop. Catch. Pretty sturdy, steady base. You can see this right side pressure again. Your right side's turning very well, so that's great. A little tension up in that left side. But it looks like your hips are trying to work up again. Left knee's a little bit more bent here. And I see, so now you start to see the shoulders come back behind the hips just a little bit, just a bit. Hips are turning well, decent separation. Perhaps a little bit too much separation. Ball looks like it's getting a little bit up on you. But then you catch. Hips are underneath you for the most part. Your foot could be a little bit more out. Hips could be a little bit more under you. And then, but you have good patience. You let the heel come down. You're just trying to lean back into it a little bit here. You can see just a bit. You're trying to lean backwards there. And your right foot kind of stalls out because this left side's pulling back just a bit too much. You got to work the ball with your hips more. So that's kind of the basis of your whole throw, is you need to just work the ball with your hips more. You also can see you have trouble getting your hips up into the throw. You're trying to work up right there, and then it just kind of stop, and then you just kind of let go of the hammer, which isn't a bad thing. But in terms of optimizing your throw, it really comes down to the hips. A lot of my videos talk about the hips because that's kind of the foundation of the hammer throw, of the movement. So yeah, getting the hips up into the throw is what's going to kind of take you to the next level. Like I said, maybe switching up the winds a little bit, change the timing of the step up, hands out away from the body a little bit more. But your left side does set up the rotation well, it shifts back, your right side's turning with it. All right, and then it's just getting the hips up into the throw more, getting the shoulders back a little bit, pulling the shoulders backwards to an extent. I like how protracted and relaxed your shoulders are, but like I said, that torso angle, getting a little bit more back over the right side. Also, you could perhaps think about keeping the left shoulder down a little bit more. Like I said, I like how this left side goes back, but if this left shoulder was down just a little bit more, it might help keep you back over this right side a little bit more. All right. Spiral downwards into the next turn with that left shoulder. And then maybe even think about spiraling the hands. As you can see, there's a slight, if you're thinking thrower view, there's a slight counterclockwise tilt to your hands. Perhaps thinking a little bit more, or no, sorry, there's a slight clockwise tilt. So think thumbs pointed towards maybe 1 o'clock on a clock. Maybe try pointing them towards like 11 o'clock. Keep that left side down, keep that right side on top, and get your hips up into it. Stay long and relaxed and wait for the hammer, and I think you're going to be well on your way, buddy. So yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Very solid for being such a youngin'. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, Matt. I'm happy to help, especially, you know, want to get back to the Division III track and field, especially hammer throw and throwing community. So let me know if you need anything else. All right. If anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, go to www.gripandrip.co and sign up. Now's the time. It's April. Competition season is here. Conference championships are about a month away, I think, for most people. Maybe 3 weeks away, depending on what school you're at. But now's the time to sign up if you want to make technical changes. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.